another reason. Okay. So we are going to now continue further. I'll discuss that how it will happen, Dilip. Let me share the screen. Okay, let's go back to our notes now. So far I have talked about loops. So let's just go to loops. That's something we have covered, but we will implement loops with some logical questions further. Okay, in the further notes, we are going to look at loops, which will be a part of logical question. But now, the next part, I'm going to discuss about continue keyword. Fine. Now, what is continue keyword? What does it mean? And how does this work? Let's try to see this here one by one. So we saw what is break keyword. In the last lecture, we talked about the purpose of break keyword. So let's create a for loop. Int I is equal to 0, I less than 5, I plus plus. Now suppose if I use here, if value of I becomes 2, and suppose I use here a break keyword. Suppose I use here a break keyword. Then what will happen is now, when the break keyword runs, the for loop will stop. So when the value of I is 0, when the value of I is 0, 0 equals to false, break keyword will not run. So hence this will not run, it will continue further and print 0. When value of I is 1, 1 double equals 2, that is again false, break keyword will not run, it will print 1. But now when the value of I becomes 2, the break keyword will run and the for loop has to stop, which means the output will be 0 and 1. What is the output? The output is going to be now 0 and 1. So when you now right click run as Java application, observe here, the output is going to be 0 and 1. I hope this part is clear. But now suppose I replace this with continue. Then what is the difference? Continue keyword will not exit the for loop. When the continue keyword runs, it will just from line 9 go back to line 7 of for loop. Meaning when I is 0, continue will not run. It will print 0. Do you agree with that? Quickly tell me. Do you agree with that? All of you? Now when the value of I is 1, still continue will not run. So this will print 1. But when the value of I is 2, continue will run. Now when continue runs, from line 9, it will go back to line 7. Which means this SOP will not run. It will not print 2. Instead of printing 2, continue will just take you back to line 7. And now the value of I will become 3. So this is false. When false, earlier it printed 0, 1. Now it is printing 3. Now the value of I will become 4. False. It will print 4. Value of I 5. The condition itself is false. For loop has to stop. Because the loop will run 0 to 4. 0 to 4. Run this and see. Observe. Is this part clear? Anybody, any doubts here? Please mention that in the chat box. Any doubts? Please mention in the chat box. Students. Yes, online students. Any doubts? What happened? Online students are there? You're not there. Any doubts? People? Yes. No doubts, no doubts, no doubts. Okay. No, sir. Okay, right, great. Now let's continue further. Now that we have understood continue keyword, we will look at else if ladder statements. These are all very simple concepts. Okay, these are not something very complex. People should be able to understand this easily. Now I'm going to use here an else if ladder statement which will take some input. I want to develop a program that takes an input. If I type yes, it should print pass. If I type pass, it should print pass. Or if I type yes, it should print pass. If I type no, it should print fail. If I type something else, it should print invalid input. What is the requirement I've got? When I type yes, it should print pass. When I type no, it should print fail. When I type something else, invalid input. Now look at the condition check. Slowly think about the condition check. If equal to yes, pass. If equal to no, fail. And if no match happens, so I cannot just use your if statements. There are multiple condition check for true condition. Correct? If yes, if no. So there are multiple true condition check I have to do. And when all the true condition fails, then it goes to the false part. So here, when multiple condition check is there, I will use ladder else if like this. Firstly, to give an input, I will use scanner class. Scan is equal to new scanner, and let me type system.in. System.in. You will press Control 1 and import. Now we are going to write here syso, syso, and here I'll now be giving enter the input. Now the input that you enter should be using next method. The reading will happen, which I'll take your string val. Now we need to check this val. If there is yes in this, it should print pass. If there is no in this, fail. And if any other input, invalid input. So there's a multiple condition check on this val now. So I cannot just use if condition. I will write first if. Since it's a string, we will use equals. And then I'm going to write here yes. Now if true, if val is yes equals yes true, it should print what? Pass. Then we can type else if. This is for the second condition check on val. The first condition check is done. Now there should be a space between else and if. Don't write it together. Don't write it together. They are different keywords in Java. Now again you will put a condition. If val dot equals no, then it should print fail. It should print fail. Else, when this is false, then automatically go to else condition. And this will now print invalid input. Did you all get this, guys? Right click, run as Java application, enter the input yes, pass. Enter the input no, fail. Enter the input something else, invalid. Did you all get this part? See, sometimes logic building, when we do these conditional statements are important, right? So when logic building we do it, conditional statements become quite important. So here we cannot use just if condition. We will have to use if else because there are multiple condition check happening on val. Okay, multiple condition check when happens on a particular variable, then better to go with else. We can also have a workaround and use only if condition. We can do that. We can have a workaround, okay, but that will make your coding lengthy unnecessarily, which is not advisable. I can achieve the same requirement only with if conditions. Yes, we can do that, but this is not advisable. Okay, now let's continue further. So if people are clear with this, can I proceed with the next example? Yes, students, you have to be interactive. All of you, please tell me, is this part clear? Shall we proceed further? Yes? Okay, good. Now we have something called as operators in Java. There's a very straightforward concept. We are going little casual here because I assume they are very simple one. Okay, so what are operators now? Operators are used for comparing something. Like if you want to compare the number, we use double equal. Whenever you're using operators, upon comparison, the end result that it will give is a Boolean value. The end result that you will see here will be a Boolean value. Like 2 double equals 3. Now this will give you a Boolean value false. 2 greater than 1, true. 2 less than 1, false. 2 greater than or equal to 2, true. Less than or equal to, and not equal to. Is 2 not equal to 3? अरे आपको देखना है नॉट इक्वल है या सेम है, दो तीन अलग है या सेम है, दे आर नॉट इक्वल, नो, then when they are not equal it should return true. Not equal what? True. See this, not equal true. Did you understand now? Everybody got this example? Analyze the example quickly. Can I proceed further? Yes? Okay. Now, we are going to continue further and we are going to look at switch case. Now the switch case works. So switch case, let's say I just want to now do this. I want to build a very simple requirement. When I enter 1, it should print first floor. When you enter 2, second floor. When you enter 3, third floor. And if you enter something else apart from that, invalid input. Now, what happens is the difference between else if ladder and switches. In else if, you have to check every condition and move further. The first condition false, then you will go to else if. False, next else if. False, next else if. False, next else if. It will check the condition in sequential manner. But switch case will directly take you to that block to which the case value matches. Got it? So let's take here a simple example. I have a scanner class. Scan is equal to new scanner, and let's type here system.in, and now we will press Ctrl 1 and import. Now we are going to type here SYSO, enter the floor number. Now how do we take this? So I'll take that into a variable number, or we can call that as key is equal to scan dot next int. So whatever input I will give now, 1, 2, 3, that will get stored in it. And now I will introduce here a switch case. Just type this much, control space bar, and you can see the template on your left hand side. Select. Okay. Now when we are doing logic building, interchangeably these conditional statements will be used automatically by the developers. There is no hard and fast rule. You'll automatically understand which is best suitable for what requirement. Are you understanding now? With practice, this definitely you will start building. Now how to practice? I will also show you that in a while. But for now, observe scan.nextIn, we have a key, the case value 1. Now same way, we need to now give here the case value 2. Okay. Then we will give here the case value that happens to be 3. Now here in case 1, I'm going to write down first floor. First floor. Same way, here I will print second floor. Second floor. And here we are going to print third floor. And here we will give it as invalid input. Okay. Invalid input. Okay. Now observe. In this case, now when I enter the input now, if I enter 2, it will not evaluate 1. What this switch does, it will directly from here go to case 2. So the performance wise, this is slightly better. But you cannot implement some logical things like greater than, less than, not equal. Such comparisons we cannot do here. Got it? You just want to execute a particular block based on the key value which matches with the case value. So suppose now I run, what is the key value I'm giving? 2. So it will directly go to case 2 and print. And suppose if I give it as 100, suppose I give it as 3, or suppose I give it as 1, we'll go to that block and that block logic will execute. Is this part clear? Everyone? Yes? Everyone clear with this part? So it is like whatever value is here, it matches with the case and goes there. Now suppose you don't write a break keyword. Then what it does, if I now enter 1, it will not stop at case 1. It will continue and go to case 2. That's why break keyword is required here as a part of syntax. That your case 1 should stop exactly at line 15. And if you don't put that, it will continue to execute further. Suppose if I comment this out, comment this out, comment this out. Now see, what will happen? I just entered 1, but all the case will execute. So break keyword can be used in 2 places as I mentioned yesterday. One is inside your for loop and the other one is what? Okay, other one is what? Okay, so now let us continue further. Analyze the program once slowly. Analyze the program once slowly. Okay, is this clear everyone? Any doubts, questions, queries? Are you clear with this? Tell me how many conditional statements are covered? If statement, if else, else if ladder statement, switch statement. These things are covered so far. Okay, now we can continue further. Now the next thing is what? An important topic that we are going to begin with. So whatever conditional statements we studied, loops that we studied, we are going to now apply on logical part basically. And that will make our understanding slightly better. So the first and the foremost example that I'm going to take is removing duplicate elements from an array. Fine, I have an array and I wish to remove the duplicate elements from this particular array. This is what I'm interested in. Now removing this duplicate element, actually I can do it in one line of code. Okay, I can just remove the duplicate elements in one single line of code. Yes, I can do that in Java. But in the interviews, they want you to build some simple logic. Okay, they don't want that one line answer. But yes, in projects, I will definitely follow that one line implementation of removing duplicate elements. But since this is an interview topic, I will try to simplify the logic which is best suitable for interview. Got it? Only from interview point of view, we will work this way. But actually, I can remove the duplicate elements with one line of code, which you will learn further when you're learning data structures in Java, stream API concept, and you will realize that all of these things can be done in one line. Okay? But for now, let's see how to remove duplicate elements, guys. So in order to remove the duplicate elements, firstly, you need to ensure that the logic that I'm applying will work only on sorted array. Now this is my array. Now in this array, the elements should be sorted. Sorted means smallest to largest. So I've got 3, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6 and 7. Or let's not take such big numbers. I'll just stop here. Okay? Yeah. Now is this array sorted? Are the elements in sequence? When I say sequence, it is smallest number to biggest. It can be 3, 3, it can be 40, it can be 50, it can be 65, any number. Now this is an array that I have got and I want to sort this. So the value 3 is present at index 0. This value is present at index 1. Then this value is present at index 2. This is present at index 3. Understand the theory well. Otherwise, logic building you'll not be able to do it. Okay. Now, observe here quickly. I have 0, index, then 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, and then 5. Now, this is the array that I've got it. Fine. Makes sense? Now, how do I remove the duplicate elements from this array X? That is the question. Now, this logic, again, I'm telling, is not the best logic, but yes, it's the best logic for interviews, not for the project. Okay? So, just from the interview point of view, I want students to remember the logic. Otherwise, in interviews, people they tend to forget things, and then things becomes very complex. Okay? So, how do I remove duplicate elements? So to remove the duplicate elements, the first step that I will take is create another array which is same size of X. I will call this array as temp. Now this array temp that I'm creating now, I will ensure the size of that array is same as X. Can you check the size? What is the size of array X? What is the size of array X? 6. What is the size of array temp? First step for my logic building is I will create a temp array which has the same size that of X. Okay. Is this clear everyone? Everybody clear with this part? Second step. Now I will represent this value I, this value as index value as I. And this particular index I will represent that as J. I'll represent that as what? J. Are you understanding now? Everyone? Yes. Now observe here. What are we doing? We are going ahead. Okay. We are going ahead now. And firstly, we are representing the index of an array. This index is represented as I. This is represented as J. And now I'll start the comparison. Comparison of neighboring elements. Neighboring means compare I with I plus 1. Compare I with I plus 1. Now observe. I'm going to compare the value present at I with I plus 1 using a not equal to operator. So I'm going to compare 3 which is present at 0 not equal to 3. Is it true or false? False. And if it is false, there is no action to be taken, right? There is no removing of duplicate elements I'm implementing here. Please understand. I'm just comparing 3 not equal to 3 false. Done. If false, no action to be taken. Just move further with the next comparison. Now again compare I with I plus 1. This time I is 3 not equal to 4. What is it? True or false? If it is true, now listen very carefully. This is where we have to build a logic. If it is true, then take the value present at index I. Can you tell me what is the value present at index I? 3 or 4? What is the value present at index I? Online students, what is the value present at index I? At index I, the value present is, now just take that value when they're not equal, take the value present at index I and that value from index I you will copy to J. That value from index I you will copy to index J of temp. And once you copy, increment the value of J by 1. What are the steps we took here? When they're not equal, take the value from index I of X array and copy that to J of temp array and increment J by 1. Now J is pointing to next index. I incremented by 1. Copying first value is done. Is it done? Yes or no? Yes. Now see, next one. Again, compare the neighboring elements. Let's compare the neighboring elements. Let's compare now 2, okay, with 3. So compare now, value at 2 is 4, not equal to 5. Is it true or false? True. Whenever it is true, what is that you will do? Take the value that is present at index I. What is the value that is present at index I? What is the value present at index I? 4. You take the value present at index I and copy that to index j of temp, and after copying, increment the value by 1. Increment the value by 1. Is this part clear? Everyone? Yes? Next part. Let's continue. Again now. This time, again I'm going to compare. Again, I'm going to compare the value of I with I plus 1. Now what is present at I? 5. 5 not equal to 5. True or false? False. If false, don't take any action. Leave it as it is. Now, compare the next neighboring element. Next neighboring element. Take the next neighboring element. What's happening? Compare 4 not equal to 5. True or false? True. Now, whenever it is true, what are we doing? Take the value from index I, copy the value to j, and then increment j by 1. Now we are at the last index. Is the last index value copied? After removing duplicate elements, the output should be 3, 4, 5, 6. Is the value 6 present? In temp, is value 6 present? Check the temp array. Is value 6 present? Huh? Yes or no? How many values are copied to temp? 3 values. What are the 3 values copied? Which means the last value is not getting copied. When you reach the last index of an array, that value is not getting copied. Do you agree with that? When you reach the last index of an array, is the value copied? No. When you reach the last index of an array, all you need to do is simply take that value as it is and copy. When this logic has to apply, when you reach the last index of an array, copy that value as it is to temp. When you reach the last index of an array. Is this clear? Everybody, did you understand this part? Any doubts, questions, queries? It will stay. You cannot do that. After 6, you cannot put 5. What is my first statement? So we will see. It will work. It will work. If you're taking a repeated value 6 and 6, you take the value 6, again put 6. It will copy. We'll see that. Hold on. After 6, you cannot take 5. It has to be sorted. But you can have the duplicate element. Suppose my array is only this much. Let's say it will still work. Okay? It will still work. But again, this is not a foolproof logic. Please understand. The logic that I'm building now, performance wise, it's not a good scenario. The way we are doing the comparison, the performance of it is not going to be good. This is only an interview topic, keep it light. I'll also teach you how to remove duplicate elements with one line of coding, which will of course have a better performance. Correct? Anyways, let's try to see this now. Let's begin with this now. So firstly, understand I require an array with a duplicate values. Now I can create an array with duplicate values like this. Int x. I can directly use a curly braces. Let's see, there are no values in this array. There are no values in this array. 0 values. So the length is 0. When I add some values, 3, 3, 4. How many values are present? How many values are present? 3. Now I will write 5, 5, 6. Now, did you understand? Automatically, I'm adding the elements and the size of the array is increasing and decreasing. The first step is, as per our logic, create temp array with same size as that of x. This is what I need to do. How to do that now? So I'll write int temp is equal to new int of x dot length. Do you agree with that? Did I achieve that part? Yes. Now I need to compare the neighboring elements. I have to compare I with I plus 1. I have to do that comparison. Now firstly, to represent this as I will use here a for loop. For int I is equal to 0, I less than x dot length, and then I plus plus. Now the loop starts with 0 and it will run to, what is the length of an array? 6. So if this is 6, then the loop will run to 0 to, very good, 5. Shortcut approach to understand. You don't require a PhD to be done on this now. Okay? So that will be a quick understanding. Is this clear, everyone? Everybody got this part? Any doubts, questions? Do you have it here? Please tell. Any doubts, questions? No doubts. So now notice here, we have 0 to 5 and this one now 0 to 5, which means the loop will run how many times? 6 times. Now, I need to compare I with I plus 1. See, fully focused. Taking job is not easy. You know, taking job is not easy. I'm telling you this repeatedly. You just think, sir, I paid the fees, I joined the classes, I'll get job. Come out of that thing. Okay, so don't even think that way and sit in my class. 7 hours you have to study from now. How many hours? Then you will achieve your target. It is going to be so tough. Okay, see, I can, okay, go ahead and convince you in the class. Okay, एक एक घंटा पढ़ लो हो जाएगा, नहीं होगा. Syllabus is very vast. You saw my syllabus classes. It's very vast. And people have to give lot of time. If you don't give lot of time to study, you will all then face the challenges. Don't do that. Is this clear? Now, if x of I, okay, how do I compare now? The value present here is x of I, is not equal to x of I plus 1. Now, firstly, let's check this logic. Let's check this logic. Okay, now there is a problem in this logic. Let's check. Now, when the value of I is 0, this will become 0, this will become 1. So I have the 0th index, I have the first index, no problem. Now the value of I will become 1. So this is 1, this will become 2. So in this case now, I have 1 and 2, I am able to compare. I am comparing neighboring elements. Now the value of I will become 2. When the value of I is now 2, when the value of I is now 2, this will become 3. I have 2 and I have 3. Am I right? I have 2 and I have what? 3. The next one, look at that. Now the value of I will become 3. If this is 3, this will become 4. So do we have 3 and 4? Yes. Now if the value of I is 4, this will become 4 and this will become, so we have 4 and then we have 5. We have 4 and 5. But the loop will not stop here. What is the last value of loop? Now the value of I will become 5. The loop cannot stop at 4. What is the ending value of loop to stop? Which means when I is 5, this will become, do we have 6th index here? Am I exceeding the index? What exception should I get here? Huh? Array index out of bound exception, because we don't have the 6th index present. Is our logic correct or wrong? Huh? Is the logic correct or wrong? Why? Did you understand why it is wrong? Yes. Now if you're taking the loop till index 5, this is throwing exception. So the loop should go till only, if you go till 4, does it work properly? Check this. Check this. The value of I is 0. So this is 0. This is 1. Okay. 0 and 1. Okay. Next. Value of I is 1. This is 1. This is 2. This is working. Is this clear? Now 2. Now this is 2. This is 3. So 2, 3 working. No problem. Now the value of I will become 3. If this is 3, this will become, so this is 3, this will become 4. No problem. Now the value of I 4. That's the last value. So now this is 4, this is 5. Yes, 4 and 5. Okay, we have no exception. But how do I reduce this value? Can I type here -1? Can we now run and see? There's no exception. Is this part clear? Analyze the logic till here. Analyze the logic till here. I created an array. Then after that, I'm creating a temp array with the same size of x. Then here, this is the logic to compare, compare I with I plus 1, I with I plus 1. Yes or no? Are you understanding? Yes, it would be very dedicated. I'm telling you this. Okay? You know, tomorrow, your success is yours. Other success is not yours. And to be successful, you have to put a lot of efforts. Yes or no? And as a student, beginners, see, for us, already my half of the life I've given in training. So my career has not started. But soon, career will end. Yes, you are all youngsters. You have to settle down in your life. You have to get good job. Yes or no? It's not my time now. That running, working hard, doing, all required things. So my turn is over. Correct? My turn is only to now train you, guide you. Now it's your turn. All youngsters, you have now a big life ahead, which you need to lead comfortably. And for that, now efforts that you put, that will make your life comfortable ahead. Otherwise, it's a very tough journey when you're not settled in your life, and then you will start seeing, okay, a lot of trouble. Being independent, right? Having your own income is important. Yes or no? Very important. So 6 hours, repeat the same thing. Sir, you have done this. Repeat the same thing 6 hours. The more repetitions you do, you will become perfect. The same logic without diverting from your mind, if you start working on it, yes. Okay? Please write down. Look at this program. Is this clear? Shall I continue further? What is the next logic? If this is true, if this condition is true, what will you do? Copy the value from x2. If this is true, copy the value from x2. How to copy? So firstly, I will create one index j is equal to 0 for temp. For x, I is there. But for temp, is this clear everyone? So now we are going to type here temp of j. You're copying the value to temp of j from x of I. From index I, you're copying to j. And after you copy the value to j, increment the value of j by 1. Increment the value of j by 1. Sorry, unary operator. Is this clear? Did we achieve that logic? But last step is not done. When you reach the last index, copy the value as it is. Yes or no? Now, this is your for loop. Select the bracket. Can you see the closing bracket? Now go outside that bracket. After sorting, let's see temp. Sorry, after removing duplicate elements, let's see the temp. How to print the value of temp? Int x colon temp. Okay, x is already there. So we'll call that as ARR. For each loop. Best way to read array, for each loop. Now by default, when you create an array, it will have 0, 0 value. That's a default value for an array. For int array, default value 0. String array, default value null. See, 3, 4, 5 remove. And the default value it's adding. We can also avoid printing that. I'll teach you that, don't worry. For now, let it be there. But now 3, 4, 5 is there. Which value it is not copying? Okay, let's take 6. Now see, still which value it's not copying? Now let's write here 7. Which value will it not copy? Are you understanding now? We need to copy the last value of the index. How do I do that? How do I know I'm at the last index? Length minus 1. Can I tell that when I now do this? X of x dot length minus 1. Is it pointing to last index? Huh? That's the last index. Now that last index value I have to copy to j plus plus of temp. So once it has become j, just type here temp of j. That's it. Okay, that's it. Make sense? Now let's type here. Right, let's see what happens in this case. Is it working? Everyone? Was that your question? Yes? Now this is not a foolproof logic. This is not a foolproof logic. Understand that. It is just an interview logic. We will never write so much of code, one simple implementation. We'll write down 20 lines of code. Think about it. We have to learn to reduce the number of lines of code when we are writing some logic. Correct, no? Everybody got it? Youngsters? Youngsters has to be like youngsters, energetic. You should not be tired. Correct? You people, moment you start the classes, you're tired. 15 minutes you're waiting extra, you're tired. Your energy level has to be higher than me. Yes or no? Correct? Okay. Everybody clear with this part? Any doubts, questions, queries? Do you have it here? Please tell. Now I want to remove 0. Can you try building this logic? Then I'll take it tomorrow. Analyze the logic once. Then I'll stop the class here. Is this clear? Everyone? Okay. See, scanner class. Yesterday class, did you miss that? Pooja Rani, did you miss yesterday's class? Then scanner class is only for giving user input. See guys, I want to give a user input. Let me comment this out. Now when you want to give a user input, what you will do here? We have to create an object of scanner class. This is a built-in class. This is a built-in class already available in Java. System.in. This is a built-in class. Now here, you want to give some input like enter your name. Now how do when I type something on keyboard, our Java code has to read that what is this user typing on the keyboard. So this class gives lot of methods. One of the method in that is next, which will help you to give string input. So whatever you are typing string value, this method, whatever you are typing on keyboard, the string value, it will read and store that into this variable. And now when you print name, you will observe it prints the name, Mike. But you observe there is one warning. Whenever you're using a scanner class, object you're creating, this object will not be eligible for garbage collection automatically. So you have to type scan dot close. Scan dot. Okay, now see the warning is gone. Otherwise, that resource will not be removed from your memory. So Mike, did you understand this now? Just as for giving inputs. If you want to give integer input, then you have to use a different method. So enter your age. And now this will become int age. And we are going to type here age. We are going to type here age. And now when you run Enter your age. Let's give here, let's say some age. Yes or no? Integer value. I hope this part is clear, all of you. Any doubts? Today's lecture. Tomorrow we will do some more logic building, right? So did you understand why conditional statements are required now? Why loops are required? Because the same logic I'm repeating, comparing the value, same logic I'm repeating. And for repeating the same logic, what did I use? Loop. Tomorrow we will look at sorting of array. Again, I can do that in one line. But interview purpose, this topic, this question, practice 10 times. Remember the code. They'll tell you in interview, just open a text file, type the code. You need not even execute the code. They'll tell type the code. And if you go for offline interviews, they'll give you a sheet of paper. And after giving a sheet of paper, they will now tell that, after giving a sheet of paper, now they will tell that, write this particular logic and show me. They'll check the logic. Syntaxes, they will be very particular about it. Whenever you're giving interview, if syntaxes you don't write down properly, even if your logic is 80% correct, but your syntax is wrong, you're rejected. Syntax is very important. Are you understanding? So work on the syntax part, and that's possible only when you keep writing programs on a notebook and keep typing. So initial days of Java classes, same code, same content, practice as many times as possible. Don't waste your time. You have the whole day to practice. Correct? Whole day you have to practice. So communication part, confidence part, right? Presentation part, your approach, how you will speak, all that qualities you have to start building. So don't think that, okay, only this much I have to practice for the day and my day is completed. No. Revise the complete notes. Keep writing, keep writing. Take a sheet of paper, keep writing. Then only you will feel confident about Java programming. What students they do, take the class, 30 minutes practice, give it. That's it, give up. Then full time pass for the whole day. Eat food, sleep, again come for class, time pass. Don't do that. When you're repeatedly doing the same thing, then only you will get seasoned. Yes or no? Like the experienced doctor. First time when the doctor does operation, and that doctor has done hundreds of operations, how confident he will be. Yes or no? Correct? So that experience with the programming language you can develop only when same thing repeatedly you're doing it and nothing extra. Don't go to YouTube, study something, go here. Then those people, what happens? No, they impact their learning speed. Because what they're doing, they're learning extra, extra, extra. And the core learning, they have skipped it. Because they're spending time watching, not by doing things by themselves. How much ever lectures you watch, you cannot be perfect until and unless you practice. Practicing will make you perfect. A good doctor is famous because he has practiced like anything. Yes or no? And an entry level doctor is the one who just started the practicing. So there is a difference. Practicing important. Is this clear? Alright. Take care. Don't waste your time. Every minute matters. Prepare a timetable for the repetition as well. Form a group. Start giving mock interviews with your friends. Take our notebook. Ask them the questions. Let them answer. And they will ask the questions back. Let them answer. Ensure that you people are doing this. Okay? This is clear? Otherwise, what will happen? Syllabus will keep on increasing and then you will give up. That how do I do? So much things. You will give up. Don't do that. Okay? If you're now 5 classes not attending, then there's a backlog of 5 sessions. Then you will struggle. Then you cannot cover the syllabus. Syllabus is voluminous, huge. 30,000 lines of notes have to cover. You have to work consistently for covering 30,000 lines of notes. Okay? Best of luck, guys. And importantly, people, everybody wholeheartedly, not forcibly, wholeheartedly, you have to participate and give us a feedback. Where till 20 classes, we have actually not forced anyone to pay the fees. We have not even called anyone. Did anyone receive a call from our side? They have to pay the fees? No. We don't even call anyone. Because we want only the right students to be in the learning hall. And when you join, definitely we deserve that feedback. Okay, wholeheartedly, not forcibly. Okay, to take out your time in your WhatsApp group. I'll be sharing a link, and please give your valuable feedback how the classes are so far. You are not interested, don't do it. I don't want anyone to forcibly give the feedback. Okay, when you feel these classes what we have taken so far, spending almost a month's time, yeah, almost nearly a month's time, what progress have you seen? Right, is there any improvisation? Right, and more importantly is how dedicated you are. That will decide your results. Just paying fees is not getting job. Keep this in mind. You paid the fees, that doesn't mean you got a job. My job is to train you, your job is to learn, and your job is to earn a job. Getting interview calls, we will take care of it. Okay, that is not a challenge. You will get 5 6 interview calls in a week if you follow what I'm telling. That will be genuine calls, no fake drives. Okay, because see, we after almost 6 years we launched a new website, because many students were telling us to launch a new website, and we just launched the information with a relevant one, the syllabus what we covered. You can download the whole syllabus from here, and this registration form is fully automated with WhatsApp integration, Zoom API integrations. There's a complete workflow we have automated here. So anybody registers here will get the reminders, WhatsApp messages, everything. And the first thing that we claim is, right, which we are happy to claim, the mobile numbers of placed candidates to cross check, and no fake photos on Instagram. And whatever data is documented is accessible by all. When I say 4,800 plus, it means 4,800 plus. And you can see the names and numbers, mobile numbers, right? And one thing is, people, they know us for conducting genuine drives. There are no fake drives that happens to be conducted here, right? So this is the form which people, the new batch people, anyone interested in the new batches, has to fill this form mandatorily. Okay, so